Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program, because I've developed it myself. During the last 8 years that I've been a coach, 7 years I've been coaching off of YouTube, different walks, people of different walks of life, most of them in the entertainment business. And about a year and a half ago, I came to YouTube because I wanted to discuss some topics that were really interesting for me, and inevitably people asked me to coach, so I started coaching on YouTube as well. All the information from me is below. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching with me, I coach in audio exchange, Zoom sessions, and telephone calls. There are different versions of that package depending on how much hand-holding you need. If you first need to make sure I'm your kind of coach and book an hour session with me, you can do so. Again, the links are below to my website. All the descriptions of the packages are there. If you have to ask me anything before booking, you can email me directly. But if you need to book an hour, like I said, we can do that. And then I can apply that hour session towards the monthly coaching. But I do recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me minimum, so that I can cover my coaching program with you in earnest and set you on your merry way in manifestation game that's transforming your beliefs, etc. Now, some people will take longer. Some people 2 months is more than enough. It depends on your history, depends on the amount of work that we need to do together. Upon booking, please sign the coaching agreement by hand, date it, print your name, and send it to me together with the payment, so that we have this squared away, and so that I can book your first conversation with me, okay? The subject of today is this reality doesn't actually exist. So this is a topic that's actually really exciting for me, because I know you guys love to talk about SPs and money and this, that, and the other. And don't get me wrong, I love helping people. There's nothing, it's the most satisfying of all things that I've ever done with my life, which is why I do coaching. And really enjoy transforming people's lives, especially if people are, willing to come on this journey of self-development. But these are the kinds of topics that I started out by discussing on my channel in the beginning and was asked to talk about SP. So the reason this will help you is obviously an advanced kind of form of message, but it will help you to kind of see things from a perspective that is like the big picture. And so what this really means is two things. Okay, that the only thing that it exists in reality is your consciousness, is your energy. Okay, all these people, your SP included, the job, the money, yes, even the country you live in, and the city, and the moon, and the stars, all of this doesn't actually exist. If you want to call it a dream, if you want to call it you're imagining all of this and creating it with your consciousness, however it suits you. But the idea is it doesn't actually exist. And I know a lot of you, some of you are more advanced than others and have these, experiences where in the dream state, and I can speak for myself, where I go into a dream, I have a hard time remembering sometimes in certain dreams that I live in New York City and I have a completely different life, because I'm so sold on the reality that I'm experiencing in that dream. And it could be like an entire lifetime sometimes, and don't forget, right? So the amount of time, let's just say you sleep 8 hours a night, and you're thinking that that's the time that you're away from your body, because you do leave your body, right? Your consciousness travels to other realities, or other realms, other timelines, etc. but it isn't measured in hours. So you could be spending an entire lifetime elsewhere and coming back to your body having spent just a whole new life somewhere, or not so new, just something that you wanted to experience. And basically, now you're waking up and remembering that here, this is my name here, and in this reality, this is what I'm doing. In effect, what you're doing is you're coming back to this kind of game of this world, of this story, of this reality. So everything is kind of like a story, essentially. And you have many stories. So when people talk about past lives and this and that, parallel realities, to me, it's all a story. So whatever story you want to start telling yourself about your SP, about your money, it's absolutely up to you. And the idea really becomes then, in practical terms, is that if you're not creating in this game of your life, right here, right now, this life that you're living, right? Because ultimately, this is what you're zeroed in on for the time being. How do you then manifest things a lot easier? And the idea really is to understand that all things come from you. So if you're not manifesting something that you say you really want, it's really just a lot simpler than you really think. Okay, you're not manifesting it for the simple reason that you don't believe it can be done. Okay, you don't believe it can be done, and you don't have the confidence. You don't have the certainty in the idea that this is just a game, that nothing really exists. You pull things into existence with your certainty, with your confidence. Okay, all things already exist. You can tell any story that you really, really want. Okay, and really it just becomes up to you what kinds of things you're pulling into your reality. The frustration thus then becomes is not understanding who you are, that you are capable of dreaming any kind of dream in your waking state, so-called waking state. Okay, let's just, not get too esoteric here, so as not to lose complete track of kind of like a goal here that we're trying to achieve in manifestation. But the main difference between a person who manifests easily and effortlessly and one that does not is the confidence. The confidence of, I am the creator, literally speaking. In other words, I gave this example many times already on my channel and in many videos, where when you leave your apartment or your house, that house literally disappears into abyss. Just like when you go to sleep at night, okay, this reality, okay, needs you for it to be operable, okay? So if you decide, like many times I have dreams that I'm staying, people, I guess they're my guides. I'm not sure. They sure look like my guides. Because that's another story. Let me not get carried away, but essentially I do know what my guides feel like, and I'm sure you have these experiences yourself, but in the physicality, I've never met them in this realm right here. And so they always tell me, you can stay. So if you never wanted to come back to this reality, you could, right? And it would be just a dream. So in other words, if you treat this reality as a dream that needs your cooperation to exist, and I mean everything around you, your house, your apartment, everyone within your reality, the way that they act towards you. Now, you can be an on-purpose manifester, and you can be a lazy manifester, or you can be confused about your role in it. So there are different levels of understanding here going on. Either you don't understand that you're creating all of this literally with your beliefs, and beliefs are so powerful, they're literally creating your reality on automatic pilot, in that literally what you're seeing right now is made of your beliefs. Okay, so if you don't believe you can manifest that money, is just not going to come no matter what the fuck you do in 3D. Okay, if you don't believe that you deserve in quotations to have your SP come back and apologize, no matter what kind of affirmations you do, it isn't going to happen, because your consciousness needs to literally create it. And what is your consciousness? It's an amalgamation of ideas about how this world works, who you are, what you represent. And when you really get past the idea of thinking that you're just like this little tiny fucking human experiencing this huge life, and this world is so big and I'm a nobody. No, it's the other way around. You are all that is, and this world is at your command. Okay, there's no, it's completely reverse. And so when you start with yourself then, and you put yourself back in the center of your creation, just like I discussed last night with the chalkboard video, which, by the way, thank you very much for all your comments, and I'm glad you really like it. I am going to, so these boards, I'm going to keep them. I have like a bunch of them. So at some point, I'm probably going to like auction them off or something. So if anybody's interested, it has two sides. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Everything is artistry to me, so whatever. I'm always thinking of how, to make this fun for everybody. But essentially, when you put yourself back in the center, you understand this is a dream, this is a game, it's not actually real. The consequences of your actions are obviously real. By the way, when I say become more selfish about yourself, I really mean for those people who have been people pleasers. I don't mean to produce narcissists on my channel, okay? I think some people like misunderstand. Okay, a couple of times I kind of heard this in my coaching where it's like the wrong message was communicated or, taken from my teachings. I really mean for people who haven't done that a lot, didn't deliver self-love to themselves, and it really feels to them that they're being selfish. But meanwhile, that's the way it's constructed. This not to mean that you're being an asshole to other people or mistreating them in any shape or form. But it just means that you're acknowledging that you're the creator, and thus putting things back in order in your reality. And so once you understand that, you really don't need, anything ever again, meaning you don't need to watch all these YouTube videos. You don't need to really just, your research is done. And that's my goal with every single client in my coaching. When it's like, when I make fun about, these things, these obsessions around your SP, like you have no fucking clue how powerful you are. And your obsession is this one tiny person that is your creation in the first place. If you really see it how I see it, you would be laughing too. I swear. Okay, so when you're listening to all these coaches, all over the internet, by the way, like, most of them are just, I think that, they don't really get it. If you really got it, if you really understood it, you would be talking about things well, first of all, in a less copycatty way. Okay, there are lots of copycats that just mimic it back each other. They don't get tired of it. To me, it's really alarming because you call yourself a coach and you copycat somebody and you think that you're doing a good job. Okay. There are really big dangers to that. Number one, you promote yourself as a coach. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. If there was like literally a coach is supposed to be evolved enough to come up with their own ideas. And that's the story for every person, where it's like you understand certain basics and then you evolve yourself. And at some point, you produce your own ideas, your own understandings that are totally custom tailored to your story, to your understanding, the kind of person you are, etc. And it like totally clicks in once and for all. And then you are able to explain it in your own way. Thus, if you're copycating and sounding like everybody else, that means you really don't fucking get it and you have no idea what you're talking about. Like really, really not. So pay attention to that. Just the parenthesis here. When you choose your coach, if they're sounding like, they're reading off of paper or they're just regurgitating what somebody else says like 500 million times, this is like a huge red flag. That person has no clue, okay? And if you're relying so heavily on somebody else's material, I mean, it's just, you can't produce your own stuff. So what's going to happen, like, if you're exhausted, you're just going to go round and round? I don't know. It's like so stupid to me. But the idea is to arrive to this conclusion, this profound conclusion that this world is literally made of your energy. And that's number one thing in your life, day in and day out, is to pay attention to your own energy, your own belief works. And it's a process, right? Now, I can teach you in 2 to 3 months in my coaching everything that you need to know. I can give you all the tools. But the journey never stops. You always fine tune your consciousness to get greater results in your life. And this is how you know you're growing, right? So this is when you no longer are in need of turning on the YouTube channel or whatever, or somebody's this and that, and you got it, you downloaded the message. Now your job is to apply it. That's how you know you're really, now you're doing something. Now you're onto something. Now you really are behind the wheel, so to speak. But of course, the idea is that everything is individual, okay, which is, again, another reason why watching, YouTube videos endlessly doesn't really help anybody, because everything is individual and your story is unlike any other story. There may be some similarities, there is that, but your consciousness, the way you build right now, the way your beliefs are built right now, is unlike any other person's, okay? The similarity may just be like you don't have your SP and that's the end of the story, but what are you constructed of? What kinds of beliefs, what kinds of fears, etc., etc. And that to me is far more fucking interesting, diving into that situation, right, than watching people regurgitate Neville Goddard 500 million times over, or some other teacher, okay? Or literally, I've seen people who are like trying to talk about what another person said, meanwhile not understanding what that person said at all, and awkwardly trying to, put it in their teachings, which is a total catastrophe. But anyway, the idea is to arrive to your own understanding. If there's a message I want you to really download, is this. Okay, you really need to work on you. You really need to arrive at this conclusion that there's nobody else but you in your reality. Okay, yes, you're dreaming me, you're dreaming your SP, you're dreaming this, that, and the other, but you have all the power. And that is the biggest takeaway I want you to really, download from my channel and arrive at this conclusion, and why it's so important to do the work on yourself and not continuously reach out to the outside source, okay, of information. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me again is below. Until next time. Oh, we're having a live on Saturday. I totally forgot. The live is on Saturday at 3 p.m. I'm going to post also a post on my channel. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk during the live. Get your questions ready. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.